Wait, I think everything should be working fine. Let me quickly confirm. How's the sound? Just a second. Okay, we have sound. So you can start. My name is Hightech, of course. I'm the creator of Hightech Meme Coin, which is the only project I promote on all of my social media. Hence, indirectly, is kind of a stock of my social media, this YouTube channel included. So yeah, I will be talking about what happened recently in the cryptocurrency market. What do I think about it regarding my 11 years of experience, and somewhere in between the lines, I'll be explaining what high tech is exactly, and why you maybe should be interested. Although I briefly already explained it. So okay, let's go. Let's go. And to be honest, I don't remember when last time I was live streaming. I'll have to check it on my YouTube channel. I see I've got a little bit of new subscribers, which is very nice, given how rarely I actually live stream recently on these live streaming platforms. I mean, on YouTube, on YouTube Rambo. Here you have all five of them. By the way, if you have any questions, of course, ask them in the live chat. I will see it here on the right side of the screen, and if I feel like I'm competent enough to answer, give you an educated answer, of course, I will proceed with that. I'll go with that. So yeah, quite a lot has happened. I don't remember. Actually, let me quickly check it. When was the last live stream? Last live stream was 3 days ago, not so long ago. When I had the entry signal, was it 3 days ago on Bitcoin? No, I don't think it was 3 days ago. Yeah, around 3 days. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I was live streaming and showing you this entry signal here. That was generated almost 4 days ago. Um, so yeah, on my Polish live streams, I'm 100% sure I was showing it with a little bit of a delay, like one day delay, which was more or less around this time here on the pullback. But as you see, it's doing quite well, right? It's doing quite well. That is why I always tell you guys never to underestimate those. I mean, these entry or exit signals here, because as you see, they mean business, right? So, same as with exits, right? Whenever there is an exit, there is a serious threat of a huge move uh, towards the downside, right? Now, as this is going our direction, exactly as I was predicting. I don't know why, but I have lost this live stream. Okay, here it is. Cool. On my YouTube. Okay, here it is. I like to have it on just so I see if anybody is writing whatever in the live chat on YouTube, because there I have the biggest size of subscribers, biggest number of subscribers. On remaining platforms, it's much lesser, much less. Maybe not counting X. On X, it could be maybe even more. Anyway, so yeah, I've been telling you guys, do not bet on market going down this part of the year. That would be extremely uncommon to see, because simply of how global liquidity works, and it's just favoring the market in the biggest way possible around fourth quarter. So we are already in the fourth quarter, right? With the entering October, which some people Some people call October because statistically, October and November are two best months for crypto. I strongly believe it's going to be exactly like that this time. This time around, this time too. And I don't think November is going to end up in green, but I think it will give great opportunities to make money. If you have a strategy, you don't do only DCA and only buying the market, but you take profit from time to time. I think November will give us plenty of opportunities to make a very decent money. So yeah, here I see. Yeah, we are going for all-time high on my Polish live stream. I said I will not be surprised if this week we are about to see new all-time highs. As you see, we are literally like a couple of percents away from a new all-time high. Maybe we will see today. We are very close. We are very close to it already. So why not? Why not? And if not today, was day today Friday? If not today, I don't know. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow. This week is extremely likely that we will see a new all-time high. And I've been saying it. Like starting on Monday, practically, right? Since Monday, I've been saying it. And here it is, right in front of your eyes, right in front of your eyes. Same, I received entry signal on hourly candle, as you see, and this one is going quite well too. This one was slightly, after 15-minute interval, gave me entry signal a little bit later, but and as you see, this one also experienced that it drove down before it went up, but that's a pretty standard thing. I always pointed out whenever I get those signals, pullbacks are possible. Sometimes they reach quite few percents. This time it was just not even 2%, right? On 15-minute interval, it was even less. But sometimes it can go even to -5, -6. On altcoins, even more though. On a couple of occasions, I've seen drawdowns going even beyond -10, and still later it did recuperate, went back up, and made a very very decent profit. Many times even plus 100%, plus 300%. So that's two doubles. So yeah, this market is very volatile, and that one thing is very good to remember, very good to accept, because if you tend to forget it, then you get trapped way too often. You get pushed out of your trades way too often, and that results in accumulating small losses that later amount to large sums of money, right? So that's literally one of the keys, how to navigate here. Just remember about the volatility. We are pushing up very nicely. I wonder how Bitcoin dominance is behaving in these circumstances. I don't know what I've just said. Okay, this one I can turn off here because it will not do us any good. All right, so yeah, maybe that will be it when it comes to this, a rebound of Bitcoin dominance, because I was speculating like maybe we will have enough of inertia to approach 59.6, but after I saw yesterday's daily candle, this one, that the chances of that happening obviously diminished. So I hope that is indeed the case, because it means we are closer to explosive moves in the outcome market. And I think I'll speak for nearly everyone if I say we can't wait for that to happen. And speaking of the altcoin market, as you see, it's fairly green. Some good results here and there, like Open plus 37%, Cake plus 37. I know I have a position in Cake, but to be honest, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure how it's doing by now. Like where was the entry exactly? How big profit I have? Plus 30, almost plus 33. Okay, out of those plus 37%, I have plus 33. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yes, I think this is just the beginning. We are in the most bullish months already, in the most bullish part of the year, in the most bullish months, October, November, and I think this time it will be especially explosive. Why? Because we have not got any rally in the altcoin realm yet this year, and usually around March, April, we're supposed to have a rally, right? And we didn't have it this time. So my belief, my understanding of market mechanics is such that it's a potential that has been stored and has not been released, and we are just about to see how how it gets to just go. I mean, no, I said it wrong. Uh, we are about to see how it's about to to be just let go, and it will happen in a very spectacular way. I don't see literally any other way of it resolving. So this part of the market has asked us to wait for a very long time, but I'm 100% sure it's going to be greatly rewarded, because of course we've seen growth here and there in like top 20, top 30 maybe. Those coins have been doing fairly well, but vast majority of the market was literally crap until now. Until now, I think the change is already ongoing. The process has already started, and we will be witnessing the fruits of it very quickly. It will give it will give us its fruit very quickly. All right, allow me to turn on this one, and let's review others chart, which supposedly represents the outcome market naturally. And here, as you see, it's looking very good too. And again, it's doing what I've been saying it will do. I said that at this occasion here, I said it is highly unlikely we are going to follow downwards and then paint this gigantic, or however you want to say it, head and shoulders formation. That's highly unlikely. I think you should give a huge benefit of a doubt how the inclination of this whole formation, and the inclination is upwards, as you see. And I think when we combine what is going on in the cryptosphere on stablecoin side, recent days, recent weeks, and try to understand how big of a change that is, I think we're up for the biggest altcoin season this space has ever seen. Why? Because on X we can read more and more that TradFi is looking a lot into and investigating involvement of stablecoins into their trading and operating And right now the biggest obstacle for the crypto market when it comes to capital inflows are banks. So once TradFi is not using uh, banking infrastructure anymore, but switches comes over to stablecoins and uses infrastructures that stablecoins operate on, then the all walls are down. Literally, all barriers are already crushed. They reduced to ashes. There is just flat surface here. Nothing is stopping the money from coming from point A to point B. Nothing in between, right? It's just pure air. So naturally, that will have to lead a huge capital inflows into many crypto projects. And I think your favorite coin or your favorite blockchain is literally you know up for a really crazy ride. It's I mean crazy time is ahead of it. Because even if you have very bad taste when it comes to investing, even if the functionality that your coin or your blockchain is trying to deliver is literally stupid, there'll be at least part of TradFi market that will also, let's say, share your belief and try to throw some money on it, to throw some money at it, and and then given how small crypto market actually is, in its entirety, everything will pump beyond imagination, beyond any scope of imagination. Of course, it will not happen overnight. First that let's say transfer of operation must happen from the banking infrastructure to blockchain infrastructure. That will probably be a process that takes months, if not years. Highly likely to be more gradually than rather than sudden. I mean, more gradual rather than sudden. But yeah, once it happens, nobody will need banks anymore at that moment. Pretty much all of TradFi will be able to wave banks goodbye, and banks will stay only for that part of the population that simply is unable to use, I don't know, smartphones. Yet computers is not really good with computers. So here we are talking about that fading part of the population, right? The oldest generation or older generations, and that's it. And they will literally disappear together with those generations. Meanwhile, the younger generations will be already fully transferred to the blockchain real, and of course that's amazing because blockchain has couple of very good qualities for global economy. Global economy. One of them, of course, is decentralization and the fact that blockchains cannot really be 100% controlled and steered and taken over. It's very difficult. Pretty much all of them are live protocols. Pretty much all of them, even if you try to restrict them with regulations, they give you enough of flexibility to go around whatever kind of regulation you can come up with. So yeah, once all of the money of the world is there, if you are for free market capitalism, this is your time to be alive. Literally, that is going to be your time to be alive. And I think the let's say options, availability of how you can make your living, how you can earn your money, uh, will be at all time high in history of humankind, literally in the history of humankind. So yeah, especially if you give a service through internet, do something that can be sent over the wires. That kind of expertise will favorite you greatly in that new reality that is about to come. So if you still do not possess any type of that sort of expertise, then just come up with something quickly, because there is little time left. I think like next year we will already see those things coming to fruition, materializing. So it's important to just get ready for it. All right. And how is the connection going? Okay, so far so good. Let me see how TradFi has been going on today, but probably good. Have we got a new all-time high? Yeah, apparently we have got a new all-time high today. Yesterday we did a new all-time high, but shortly after we could see a sell-off all in traditional market. But today we did not only open high, but also as you see, have a nice follow through, and already managed to beat the all-time high from yesterday on several occasions here on 15-minute candles. So that's absolutely great. Also, be ready for corrections coming sometime in November. I think it's almost a given that we will have a correction in November. Given that this uptrend is lasting quite a while already, as you see, it actually started here. So it's been around 6 months, right? Around 6 months without any significant correction yet. So I think November, first half of November, beginning, end of the first half, beginning of second half, until the end of November, the risk is like literally the greatest. Risk is the greatest during that time. So just you know, even I think starting from November on November 1st, we are already stomping on a very uncertain ground. And historically speaking, of course, that has been the case many times. If not in November, then in December definitely. But I think too many people could be expecting the crash to happen in at the beginning of December. That is why they will be front running it and selling off in November on high liquidity, when liquidity is the highest in the market. And yeah, so here it is. You've been warned. Okay, let's take a look at what has been going on X today, on crypto X. Any interesting news? Yesterday, I saw that in Thailand they introduced 0% tax on Bitcoin and crypto trading. That's absolutely amazing. I hope it's going to be copied all over the world. I think that is the way it should be. There should be no any kind of taxation on Bitcoin or crypto. I think it should be considered money, just like forex trading. Bitcoin archive. Just in, Russia's largest exchange pushes to end ban on retail Bitcoin trading. That's good. But in Russia, it probably won't happen. Why? Because simply because the government of Russia, they need to finance their campaigns, their war campaigns now. That is very costly, very expensive. So I don't think they can relax in such manner. Bullish. Eric Trump said the next 3 months will be unbelievable for Ethereum. I think next 2 months will be unbelievable for the whole crypto space. And as you just heard, in November we'll have a real boat shaking, huge boat shaking. Watcher Guru, $10.5 trillion. Goldman Sachs says that they are seeing increased institutional participation in Ethereum. In Ethereum, yeah, of course, that's because staking is about to be introduced on Ethereum spot ETFs. That's the reason. Max Crypto China injected 530 billion yen in liquidity this week. Bullish for Bitcoin. Maybe not exactly. It would be good if you completely cut out from the picture whatever China is doing, because they operate on literally on completely different set of rules than Western countries. So that is why whenever you hear something that's supposed to be very, very bullish, it may not mean that at all, because of how different they operate. Live Bitcoin all-time high waiting room. Yeah. New all-time high is waiting right now in the room, just about to come out. Let's maybe switch to the Bitcoin chart just in case we beat a new all-time high live on air. Just today we have seen 123,300 already, and the actual all-time high is 124,474 on Binance, of course. So not that far off. Amazing. Let's take a look how liquidations are doing. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 57, slightly higher. Altcoin Season Index 68, which is not really that high. It has been higher last week. I mean, it was higher last week. Let's take a look how liquidation heatmap has changed, if it changed. No, not really. Okay, it has changed. Why? Because before, literally yesterday, I could see there was much more liquidity below 110,000, and now it's not as concentrated anymore. At the time when it was in that high state of concentration, I was pointing out that it could be a spoofing made by market makers. It could be market maker spoofing of the market, and given that this liquidity has disappeared now, I think it proves I was right. Because oftentimes whenever people see high concentration of liquidity on the liquidity heat map below or above the price, they think market makers will go for it just to liquidate it, right? But that's a double-edged sword, because market makers people know about it, and they use it to their advantage, and they spoof the market themselves with offers, putting large offers in order books that look like concentration of liquidity, just so people think, oh no, price will have to, we cannot go higher because price will have to go down first and grab this, and then we can go higher. And then, of course, what they do is they open large leveraged positions on derivatives exchange, and they keep pumping the spot market, and they keep wrecking the shorts of retailers like a train, right? So the moment I saw it, I said it, I mentioned about it. Never put 100% faith into what you see on liquidation heat map, because you can fall victim to something like this. And apparently, quite few people have fallen victim to it, because when we go over to how liquidations are doing for the last 24 hours, on Bitcoin, numbers went a little bit up. You see, on Ethereum, yeah, more or less the same, but on Bitcoin, it definitely went up. It's still not very impressive, but numbers are going up. I mean, in long liquidations, we've seen far more than this, but later everything, came down by a lot, stayed low for quite a few days, and now we are seeing a very visible uptick in numbers. So here Bitcoin, as you see, is attempting to attack that all-time high, and like I said previously, if we break new all-time high today, to me, literally zero surprise. Expect really massive pumps left and right. This month, the next month, it will be intercepted with some correction here and there from time to time, of course, because this is a very volatile market. So don't expect it to go in a straight line up. That rarely happens. Sometimes it happens, but very, very rarely. It will have corrections on the way up, and so that's why I do not use leverage. Use only a spot market. DCA, whenever there is a pullback until November, and I think you should be very, very fine. Very, very fine. So, okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up. At this point, in this moment, share, like, and subscribe, of course. I don't want to make it too long, too boring. Keep it tight and condensed. And don't forget to throw something at my meme coin, high tech, which is indirectly the stock of my YouTube channel, all of my streaming platforms, channels, and also of my X account. And this is still very small market. As you see, 60 holders so far, literally microscopic, meaning that it has plenty of room to go up. To be honest, I would be very surprised if sometime next year I will not see a couple of grants for one high tech. I will be very, very disappointed and surprised and and let down. But to be perfectly honest, I do not believe that it won't happen. Right? I'm very, very certain that sometime next year we will see literally a couple of grants, if not few grants, just for one token here. So that should more or less give you some understanding how potentially how much growth is ahead of this asset here, right here. So yeah, that way, just get yourself, I don't know, at least few bucks of it. If I'm wrong, and if you lose few bucks, we all know you're gonna leave. If not, then that few bucks can literally turn into something really, really countable, and something that you can enjoy. So thank you guys for your time, and I see you sometime soon. Cheers.